Hello and welcome to my LCP Roster Rankings video. You may be looking at it and saying to yourself, why does he have all the teams on the board already? Well, if you're new to the channel, I absolutely hate re-recording content, but I have to re-record this video. Did not upload properly. So, I can't give you the same spiel twice, make it seem like it happened the first time. So we're going to go over this and discuss it team by team, but this is how it is. So, team secret. Well, we'll start with no need to do hide what the results are. So, Chief Esports Club. I mean, we have BioPanther in top lane. Meh. Arthur in the jungle. Wish he was better, but really looking at his stats and how I think he played in CBLOL in Latin America last year and didn't pan out in both. Either him or Malrung did. Either way, I know he didn't pan out where he went. Jimmy in mid is definitely a PCS level mid laner. He's top 8 to go in here, and I would say he's probably middle of the road. He's not 8th, let's put it that way. Um, and then we got the bot lane duo of Lima and Luan, which, Luan, I'm surprised they went with Luan, but maybe Luan couldn't find an ERL team to go to. He maybe just said, hey, I'd rather play on this team. I'd argue you're better off playing on an ERL team than playing on an Oceania squad. Oceania struggled in the PCS the last two playoffs. We'll see if playing in the PCS or LCP this season against better competition will allow them to be better. Theoretically, that should happen. Now, after that, we have CFO, so CTBC Flying Oyster. Double top laner with driver and rest. Who knows who's going to start, but both are pretty damn good PCS top laners formerly, so they'll be upper half LCP top laners. Junja in the jungle, arguably the best jungler. Well, I would say is the best jungler going into this season, and at worst, arguably the best one with Levi in that conversation. Mid lane is why this team is under good. Hong Q is a rookie. He's only played like 2 games total at the top level. And that's going to be the make or break because he's one of the youngest, if not the youngest, mid laners going into this season. So there's a lot of pressure on him, to expect to finish at top 3 and go to Worlds. Bot lane of Doggo and Kai Wing should be solid. I expect that one to be upper half or at worst middle of the road, depending on how Kai Wing performs at his age. Doggo, I'm happy that he's out of the LPL and Ultra Prime because hell, I've been saying it all year. Actually, I should say he should play on PSG because personally I think he's better than Betty, but he was on Ultra Prime and just toiled away. After that, you have DFM, so Ray Farkey, Guan, Arya, Milan, and Harp. So this team is no longer the team of old. DFM has fallen off big time ever since their issues with Toll 2, and even before that, you could tell as Udapan was aging, the team was aging out, Evie leaves, team's aging out. Steel is now, going to military. He's aged out. So, frankly, DFM are a shell of what they once were. Arya is still a very good mid laner. He could be one of the best mid laners in this region. And he also could be middle of the road. Now that he's played in Japan so long and been dominant, he could have gotten complacent. Ray Farkey, I could argue, may be the worst top laner in this region. Guan, we'll see what happens as a rookie. He played with T1 last season in Challengers. Bot lane of Milan Harp, I don't expect much out of that. So this team lives and dies by Guan Arya, and if Guan can perform, and Arya as well, so below average. SoftBank Hawks Gaming, Evie, Courage, Fate, Marble, and Gang. So bot lane duo, pretty bad, one of the worst ones. But Evie, if he coin flips heads, this team can be average. If the team... If Fate is one of the best mid laners, like many expect going into the season, the LCP, I expect them to be average because he can carry them that far. He's in a carry oriented role. Marble is going to have to play better than he did last year, and Gang, I don't even know, man. They're in a tough spot as far as that team's concerned. But hell, last year they outperformed expectations as well. Gam Esports. So we have Kiea and Levi on the top side, best top side in this tournament in this region. Mid lane though, you have Ares, and then you have Artemis and Elio. So Ares is what makes or breaks this team. I have them under good, but the reason why they are going to be behind Talon solidly is because of Ares. He has to prove that he can play at a high level and play the way that he should. So Apparently last season he was on a team that was below his level of play. I mean, maybe I looked at his stats wrong. Maybe, I had a smudge on my glasses, but those damage numbers indicated to me that you weren't playing up to a standard of that of a player that is way better than their teammates. Let's put it that way. Um, Generally speaking, when a player, especially in a carry role, mid and 80 carry in particular, their damage numbers usually are pretty damn crazy when they are on a team that stinks. Because even if they are getting camped, they're still dealing damage, usually. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to dominate, win games, have a great KDA and things like that. But usually their KP is pretty solid as well because they're just, they're playing the game at a high level. At least in tier one major regions, I feel like that's normally the case. Seldom do you find major region players with terrible stats and they're also great players on a terrible team. Usually they have something to go off of. Elk, for example, with Ultra Prime. He looked good on Ultra Prime. Statistically, he looked good on Ultra Prime. He looked like a guy that was carrying a bad team. I don't feel that with the rest. Now, Artemis has been to international events before. He should be solid. I mean, better than Easy Love. Maybe not by a lot, but better than Easy Love. So that team's good. MGN Vikings Esports. So this team, Shogun and Sword Art in the bot lane. We've got Kratos, Guri, and Kadi. So Kadi, middle of the road, mid laner. Do not give him as many resources as you did last year. Please, that would be a mistake. Give them to Kratos and give them to Shogun. Do not waste resources on Kadi. Just don't do that. Just don't do that. Let him play weird shit in mid. Let him make things happen that way and be a facilitator mid. A poor man's do and be, if you will. Do not give him resources like that. Kratos can carry games. We'll see. Actually, I'm sorry. He might have the potential to carry games. Last season, what he did was good, but I need to see more. Guri, if he takes the next step. This team is the only team on the average scale to me that can go, well, no, actually, sorry. SoftBank Hawks Gaming is the only one that's on average that can't get better, in my opinion. They're maxed at average. Vikings Esports, I think if Kratos and Guri end up doing well and developing, they can move up. CFO, similar boat with Hong Q in mid. Excuse me, we'll skip talent for a second. Team Secret Whales, they're running a 10-man roster. They've got they got Hero 02 in top lane. I mean, he's played a bit. Then they got Stellar, who hasn't, Hizto that hasn't, Dyer, who hasn't, Chica, who hasn't. But Eddie and Taki have played a lot of games. I guess some people may have played one or two games here or there, but I mean, hell, that doesn't make a difference to me. Eddie and Taki, though, could be the best bot lane duo in this region, certainly the most aggressive, which is why they're not considered bad right now. They're considered below average because that in and of itself is a threat to win some games, where I don't think Chief Esports Club really has that threat to win games. Now, if those players perform at a high level, great. You picked rookies that worked. There's good for you. I don't remember the last time a 10-man roster was great. Skipping over former players that played in the major region for rookies doesn't always indicate that you're making the right decision. Management has fucked up before. Management has succeeded before. So there's no certainty either way. I just think there is a certainty of their inexperience, and we definitely need to see what happens. And I expect later on in the season they'll be better than they are right now. But right now it's below average because that's where I have the bot lane duo is just carrying this team. Take away the bot lane duo, allow one of those other roles to try and carry, and hell, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the other team should take care of them. Talon, obviously that team's the best one. We got Ozzy, we got Karsa, Fofo, Betty, and Woody. So Fofo's the best mid laner in this region. Karsa, upper half jungler, now alongside Fofo, could look even better. Ozzy in top lane, upper half Betty, upper half Woody, upper half. You have everybody in the upper half at worst and top three at best, which means they're going to win a hell of a lot of games. And you have the players that have played together before. Hell, even Karsa has played with Betty and Fofo before. So there is an advantage there. These guys are pretty familiar with each other, and I expect the team to do quite well, as many do. So I would say they're definitely above Gam. They're probably in the conversation for, hey, maybe they sneak, be very competitive at World, scare a team or something. Um, Whereas Gam, I don't necessarily feel the same way. You know, the thought that, okay, well, we've taken a region, we've consolidated all the players into a team, so therefore the team must be better. I mean, yeah, if you pick the best player, I guess. Um, I mean, sure, if you did. In the case of Gam, I do think Shogun's better than Artemis, so I don't think he had the best AD carry. Um, and then as far as mid, I mean, who knows? So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.